Keeping it flat. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this service to celebrate the life of Dorothy Lorraine Butler. Special welcome to those who are watching this service via Zoom link or via the internet this morning. My name is Graham Sayre. I'm a civil celebrant, and it's my privilege to have been asked to conduct this service for Dorothy today. Family and friends, today we pay our respect to a gracious lady, a wife, mother, sister, grandmother, auntie, colleague and friend. They're in no particular order, as each of you have shared your own relationship with Dorothy and you have many memories of the times you have shared together. Dorothy Lorraine Butler was born on the 18th of July 1940 in Maitland. She was the much beloved youngest daughter of Bob and Gladys Fryer and an adored sister of John and Aileen. Very much the dearly loved wife of Malcolm, loved sister-in-law of Jeanette and Josephine, and beloved mother and mother-in-law of Helen and Phil, Ian and Tracy, Vanessa and Chris. Dorothy is the adored grandmother of Kate and Hayden, Emily, Melissa and Ricky, Rhiannon, Chelsea Lee and Georgia, and cherished great-grandmother of Ebony, Amy, Sloane, Elara and Asher and Wolf. Dorothy passed away on the 23rd of December 2021 at the Port Broughton Hospital, and she was surrounded by her loving family. On behalf of the family, thank you for being here today, especially those who've travelled to be here. Family would also like to mention the following people who are unable to be here today. Jeanette Fryer and Josephine Gross, both of Dorothy's sisters-in-law. Her granddaughter Melissa Butler, who is unable to attend as she is interstate, and her son-in-law Phil Chilcott, who is also interstate. It's only natural that we should be sad today, because in a practical sense, Dorothy is no longer with us and no longer part of our lives. So we all come to ponder the life and death of a truly wonderful woman. Family and friends, everyone who sits in this room today is a gift to everyone else here. We are together. Just our presence, even in silence, is a deep comfort. Who among us has not passed through the trials and bereavements of life? Some bear fresh wounds in their hearts and feel very keenly the kinship of sorrow. Others, whose days of mourning are more remote, still recall the comfort that sympathy brought to their hearts. To those who were very close to Dorothy, no one can predict what feelings and experiences will arise in the months and even the years to come. There may be waves of joy and sadness and tears. Everyone who is here today is proof that you do not have to ride these waves alone. We know, too, that it is not only grief that we will feel. There will be genuine smiles and gratitude for the memories that Dorothy has given us that can never be taken away. Feel free to share these stories, the happy ones and the not so happy ones. Now I'd like to ask Vanessa to come forward and share with us the story of her mother's life. Thanks, Vanessa.
Thank you, Graham. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of our family, I would like to thank you all for being here today, and for those of you who are live streaming and all those who were unable to attend due to COVID restrictions. A big thank you for all your love and support. A special mention to my nephew Ricky, who is also unable to attend at the last minute. We're thinking of you, Rick. I would firstly like to thank Andrew and Skinner Family Funerals for being here for us every step of the way and for pulling this all together under these very trying times. I would also like to thank Graham, our celebrant, for officiating today. Your beautiful words are heartwarming. A big thank you also goes out to the catering staff for coming together on this very hot New Year's Eve day to allow us refreshments while we remember and celebrate the life of my mum, Dorothy Butler. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Vanessa Butler and I am the youngest child of Dorothy and Malcolm. I will be reading the eulogy today, which is a timeline of my mum's 81 years, squished into 8 minutes and 3 pages. Please bear with me if I have to stop because it looks like I may be losing my shit. If this happens and there is awkward silence, please feel free to start cheering or throwing things at me so I can refocus. So anyway, let's begin. Dorothy Lorraine Fryer was born on the 18th of July 1940 in Maitland, South Australia, and was the youngest daughter of Bob and Gladys Fryer, with 2 older siblings, John and Aileen. Dorothy's sister Aileen died at the age of 4, while Dorothy was only 2 years old. Growing up, she would become very close with her cousin, Janice Pantazzi, whom she loved and adored like a sister. The Fryer family lived at Point Pearce Mission Station for about 8 years, as her father was the stock overseer. They moved to McLaren Vale and lived in a house on Jack and Doreen Wheaton's property for about 2 years, while her father studied at Roseworthy to become a Department of Agriculture stock inspector. From McLaren Vale, the family moved to Cleve in the early 1950s, where Bob became District Stock Inspector for the Northern Eyre Peninsula and Gawler Ranges. Dorothy's first job was at a chemist shop in Cleve at the age of 14, having left school at an early age. She then gained employment as a telephonist in Cleve for the PMG department. She met her future husband, Malcolm Butler, in July 1958, when he came to Cleve to have a look at an old broken-down road grader to be used on the Thelga Station property, which he was overseeing at the time. Malcolm met Dorothy's father in the main street of Cleve, and as it was lunchtime, he took Malcolm home to meet his wife Gladys and daughter Dorothy. It was love at first sight for Malcolm, and they were duly engaged on Dorothy's birthday in 1959 and married on the 15th of October 1960, with her sister-in-laws Jeanette Fryer and Josephine Goss by her side. Dorothy moved to Thelga with Malcolm to start their married life. Thelga was an 890 square mile pastoral property 70 miles north of Kimber in the Gawler Ranges. Their union produced 3 amazing children. Helen, born September 1961, Ian, born April 1964, and Vanessa was born in January of 1966. During all of these pregnancies, she was assisted by the Bush Church Medical Air Service that was based in Ceduna, which is now known as the Royal Flying Doctor Service, due to their remoteness to civilisation. In 1967, their eldest daughter Helen started School of the Air, which was based in Ceduna through the HF radio system, with Malcolm's wonderful mother, Jean Butler, being her governess. Ian and Vanessa were cared for by Dorothy with the love and assistance of her mother Gladys and mother-in-law Jean while they lived on Thelga Station. The family moved to Port Augusta in November of 1967, where Malcolm started up an outback transport business, Butler's Transport Services. This later morphed into an outback road train business, which they had for 20 years. During the family's time in their first house on Carlton Parade, they made great friends with their neighbours, the Virgos. It was known as the police house, and following their departure, the Battersbys, who moved in next door. Dorothy and her family were close friends with the Faulkners, the Reinschmidts and the Morrises, who lived close by, and many other families in Port Augusta, including the Dyers, Bettses, Krebs and Penglazers. The children of each family were to become lifelong friends, and the families remain close to this day. Once the kids were old enough to go to school, Dorothy gained employment at Jack the Price Slasher's as his wages clerk. During this time, she was fortunate to head overseas to America and Asia with Jack and other work colleagues for work trips where she saw some remarkable places and had the amazing stories to regale. When Jack the Slasher's was eventually sold, Dorothy then became the receptionist for the local chiropractor named Milo Cap. Dorothy's love for travel took her overseas to the UK with her best friend Barbara Dyer, and also to the Philippines to see her good friend Marilyn and explore the country. Dorothy loved travelling and would bring home exotic gifts for her children, and as her kids were easily amused, these gifts were deemed totally cool. In 1985, Dorothy and Malcolm sold the transport business and turned the existing workshop into a heavy diesel workshop, as their son Ian was a diesel mechanic with Mercedes-Benz. This then became Butler's Mechanical Service, with Malcolm, Dorothy and Ian being the three partners. From 1985 to 1999, the grandkids Emily, Kate, Melissa, Ricky, Hayden, Rhiannon, Chelsea, Lee and Georgia came on the scene, and life was never the same again. Dorothy loved spending time with all her grandkids and their array of many different loves and hobbies which kept her on her toes. In 2000, they moved out of their home on Carlton Parade and into one fit for the grandkids to Leslie Street, complete with a pool that was Malcolm's job to clean. Dorothy loved the new house with all its space and separate living quarters for guests and grandchildren, which was beautifully renovated by her very much loved cousin, Trevor Fryer. She had a beautiful garden, which was also Malcolm's job to maintain, and she enjoyed the many years they spent there. Dorothy adored her older brother John, his wife Jeanette, and four beautiful daughters, Darren, twins Bernadette and Bernadine, and the youngest Catherine. She remained very close with all the family and felt the loss of her beloved brother John and the untimely death of her eldest niece Darren greatly. In 2010, Malcolm and Dorothy decided to move to Barunga by the Sea, retirement village in Port Broughton. Dorothy loved being involved in a lot of the community events within the village, especially the card playing days, where she became quite the card shark, and even with her card shark notoriety, still made many friends. Dorothy was renowned for her exquisite egg artistry, which she created over many years, and many of which are now displayed throughout her home. She spent these years creating masterpieces and would sell numerous beautiful items every year at the Laura Folk Fair with her artist friend Elaine Zerner. Her gift for making beautiful furniture, painted children's items and paper towel artwork was truly amazing and will be treasured by her family for years to come. Dorothy's grandkids delighted her with great-grandchildren during the latter years. The twins, Amy and Ebony, then Alara, Asher, Sloane and Wolf, who she adored dearly. During her short illness, Dorothy had many visits from family and friends. Great-grandchildren, grandchildren and dear friends made much love visits to her home and hospital bed. Dorothy was very chuffed by all the love she had received. I think it was in these last weeks that she realised how much she meant to us all. She was always so no fuss and just busy being the best wife, mother, auntie, grandmother, great-grandmother and friend that she didn't realise how precious she was to us all. Dorothy was loved by many, which is evident with the memories and stories told by those that held her dear. She will live on in our hearts through these memories, the happy, the crazy, the funny, the sad, but mostly the love that she gave us all unconditionally. Rest in peace, our beautiful Dorothy Lorraine Butler. Come on, Mama. You will be missed every day until we meet again. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I also have a poem that my beautiful niece, Melissa Butler, wrote. She's unable to be here today as she's in Queensland. And Melissa absolutely adored her nan. And she sent this to me, and I'm going to try and get through this too. So please bear with me, everyone. This is from Melissa to you, Nan. You came to say goodbye on the wings of a butterfly, and no sooner did it catch my gaze, I knew your time on earth had passed. We may not have got to say what we wished we could, nor shared one last embrace, but you heard the sweet voice of summer calling, knowing you had lived all your seasons to the fullest. Your heart a beating vessel of love, always taking time to smell the wildflowers. You were simply art made from flesh and bone. The morning dew on the leaves in the garden and the cool breeze in the spring evening, like the sea, you felt like home. Now we'll turn our memories into poetry and collect our days on paper, and even though we can no longer see you, we will whisper sweet nothings into the air, knowing that you are always beside us, thankful and with a heart full that you came to say goodbye on the wings of a butterfly. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vanessa. What a beautiful reflection on your mother's life and those lovely words by Melissa. We come to a time now for our own thought and reflection, a time for you to remember, a time of quiet thought. Musically, Dorothy loved Shirley Bassey and Engelbert Humperdinck as well as Tom Jones. Those were her favourite artists. And I'm sure we'll be listening to some of Dorothy's favourite songs by them as we watch a presentation of pictures of Dorothy and her life.
Funny how a lonely day can make a person say, what good is my life? Funny how a breaking heart can make me start to say, what good is my life? Funny how I often seem to think I'll never find a dream in my I look around and see this great big world is part of me and my life. This is my life. Today, tomorrow, Lord will come and find me. But that's the way that I was born to be. This is me. This is me. This is my life, and I don't give a damn for lost emotion. I've such a lot of love I've got to give. Let me live. Let me live. Sometimes when I feel afraid, I think of what a mess I've made of my life. Crying over my mistakes, forgetting all the breaks I've had in my life. I was put on earth to be a part of this great world, is me and my life. Guess I'll just add up the score and count the things I'm grateful for in my life. This is my life. Today, tomorrow, Lord will come and find This is me. This is me. This is my life. And I don't give a damn for lost emotions. I've such a lot of love I'd like to give. Let me live. Let me live. This is my life. This is my life. This is
To live for today and to love for tomorrow is the wisdom of a fool, because tomorrow is promised to no one. You see, love is that wonderful thing that the whole wide world needs plenty of. And if you think for 1 minute that you can live without it, then you're only fooling yourself. Listen, please. I'd like to tell you something that happened to me just the other day. I awakened this morning. I was filled with despair. All my dreams turned to ashes. Now they're gone. And I looked at my life, it was barren and so bare. Without love, I had nothing, nothing at all. Without love, I had nothing. Without love, I had nothing, nothing at all. I had conquered the world, but what then did I have? Without love, I had nothing, nothing at all. I once had a sweetheart who loved only me. There was nothing that she would not give. No, no, I was blind to her goodness, and I just could not see that a heart without love cannot live. Without love, I had nothing. Without love, I had nothing, nothing at all. I had conquered the world, but what then did I have? Without love, I had nothing, nothing at all. Without love, I had nothing, nothing at all.
Goodbye, England's rose. May you ever grow in our hearts. You were the grace that placed yourselves where lives were torn apart. You called out to our country and you whispered to those in pain, now you belong to heaven, and the stars spell out your name. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never fading with the sunset when the rain set in. And your footsteps will always fall here along England's greenest hills. Your candles burned out long before your legend ever will. Loveliness we've lost, those empty days without your smile. This torch we'll always carry for our nation's golden child. Even though we try, the truth brings us to tears. All our words cannot express the joy you've brought us through the years. And it seems to me you've lived your life like a candle in the wind, never fading with the sunset when the rain set in. And your footsteps will always fall here along England's greenest hills. Your candles burned out long before your legend ever will. Goodbye, England's rose. May you ever grow in our hearts. You were the grace that placed yourselves where lives were torn apart. Goodbye, English road, from a country lost without your soul, who missed the wings of your compassion more than you will ever know. And it seems to me you've lived your life like a candle in the wind, never fading with the sunset when the rain set in. Your footsteps will always fall here along England's greenest hills. Your candles burned out long before your legend ever will.
I took the supermarket flowers from the windowsill. I threw the day-old tea from the cup. Packed up the photo album Matthew had made, memories of a life that's been loved. Took the get well soon cars and stuffed animals, poured the old ginger beer down the sink. Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down, but Mum, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I'm in pieces, it's tearing me up, but I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mum. When I fell down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. And when God takes you back, He'll say, hallelujah, you're home. Fluffed the pillows, made the bed, stacked the chairs up, folded your nightgowns neatly in a case. John said he'd drive, then put his hand on my cheek and wiped a tear from the side of my face. And I hope that I see the world as you did, 'cause I know a life with love is a life that's been lived. So
some amazing memories there of a wonderful lady. I'd like to share with you a poem called You Can. You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full of the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live for yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she is gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. You can cry, close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what she would have wanted. Smile, open your eyes, love and move on. As we conclude the service for Dorothy here today, we're going to watch a small video, I believe, and then I'll ask Andrew Skinner to come forward and prepare us for the rest of the service.
young blood thinks there's always tomorrow. I miss your touch on nights when I'm hollow. I know you crossed a bridge that I can't follow. Since the love that you left is all that I get, I want you to know that if I can't be close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of you. I miss you more than life. And if you can't be next to me, your memory is ecstasy. I miss you more than life. I miss you more than life.
No worries.
That's alright now.
Young blood thinks there's always tomorrow. I need more time, but time can't be borrowed. I'll leave it all behind if I could follow. Since the love that you left is all that I get, I want you to know that if I can't be close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of
They're cheaper at IGA than they are at Drake's.
life. And if you can't be next to me,
It's good, isn't it?
your memory is ecstasy. I miss you more than I miss you more than life. I miss you, and if I can't be close to you, I'll settle for the ghost of you. I miss you more than life. And if you can't be next to me,
See you, darling. Yeah, I love you too. And thanks for everything.
I miss you more than life.
Sorry. Thank you, Leanne.
Cheaper than Drake's. I like that. I like that. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the service here for Dorothy. We will pay our tributes in here so we're not out actually in the heat, and then once we've paid our tributes up the front, we'll head to the hearse. Yep, he's agreeing. We'll head to the hearse and then make our way to the cemetery to lay her to rest. So we'll just move the lectern out of the road, and then I'll give you the bearers and everyone directions after we come up and just place a flower here. It'll just make it a little bit more out of the heat, and that's what I'm worried about today because it is fairly warm. So I'll get that underway first, and then we'll get the bearers to come forward. Thank you. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. From here, I'll ask the pallbearers to come forward and we'll have a song playing as we leave. Once we get outside and we're all ready to go and we've got everything we need, we'll head off to the cemetery. Those on Zoom, please stay tuned. We are going to try and go live at the cemetery, so please hold on. If you get booted, please connect back up. So that's for the people that are watching out there. There's about 35, I think, online. So hopefully we can keep them all connected so they can be part of today. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and may the pallbearers come forward. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll get you to head to your vehicles, get them nice and cool. We'll be in that for a couple of seconds and follow us to the cemetery. So if you want to go make your way to straight out. So what we'll do is come head first out here, straight over. As you can see, it's fairly tight, so you're very wary if you think that you're struggling to get lowered. Down. Yep. Thank you. Before we get underway, ladies and gentlemen, there's cold water there. If you do need one, please grab one. You can open up, grab one. You can either grab it now or during the service or after. So please be wary that they are available because it is hot. so I'll get you to stand just a little bit to the side so everyone else can see. Come right up here. If you need an umbrella, don't hesitate to call out.
It's good.
Okay, we're all ready?
Good. Family and friends, it's time for us to say our farewell to Dorothy. In our hearts, we thought of you with love today, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday and days before that too. We think of you in silence. We often speak your name. Now all we have are memories and your picture in a frame. Your memory is our keepsake with which we will never part. We have you in our keeping. We have you in our heart. Miss me, but let me go when I come to the end of the road and the sun has set for me. I want no rights in a gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul set free? Miss me a little, but let me go, for this is a journey we all must take, and each must be alone. It's all part of the Master's plan, a step on the road to home. When you are lonely and sick of heart, go to the friends we know, and bury your sorrows in doing good deeds. Miss me, but let me go. Tenderly and reverently we commit Dorothy's body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We are grateful for the life that has been lived and for all that life meant to us. We are glad Dorothy lived. Dorothy's life has made a contribution. Dorothy's life we honour, and her memory will always be a part of us. Rest in peace, Dorothy Lorraine Butler.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Malcolm, Helen and Ian, Vanessa, their families and extended family, I'd like to thank you all for the love and support you've shown for attendance here this morning to say farewell to Dorothy. You paid your respects at the club, but you do have a chance to come up and say a final farewell, and then you're invited back to the club for light refreshments and a chance to celebrate Dorothy's life. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the service here for Dorothy Lorraine Butler today. I thank you for your love, support and attention. Thank you.
You're my world, other eyes see the stars up in the sky. But for me, they shine within your eyes as the trees reach for the sun. So my arms reach out to you, my love, with your hand resting in mine. I feel a power so divine. You're my world, you are my night and day. Should I go or should I stay? And then I saw you at the corner of my eye. A little girl alone and so shy. I had the last waltz with you. Two lonely people together. Was going strong.